Hey, this is Mike from Junkie on Crafts and Builds, and today we're going to be looking at the Ramen toy Makina Red Gullwing. Now this obviously is a re-envision of the classic 80s cartoon and toy line M.a.s.k. And this is very cool for me because when I was a kid and I was collecting M.a.s.k, this was the very first toy I got for Christmas in that line. So it's really nice to see something so nostalgic coming out now. This obviously comes in another box, which is right here, which we're going to kind of slide right in. Again, it says Labs Prototype Top Secret Red Gullwing Makina. So it's just a nice little box. But this is what we want to see right here, and this box is so nice, so well done. Has this nice image here of the Red Gullwing with Mads hocking in the driver's seat, being chased by the Plague, which if you are familiar with the cartoon, you know who pilots that vehicle behind him. And then again, here's the Mads hocking action figure with power helmet. Going on the top, we have some of the features. We have a weapons bay, 2 sets of bombs, and a detailed cockpit. And on the bottom here, we have removable helmet, wing extensions, and updated articulation. Because if you were familiar with the old toys, you realize that this guy had 5 points of articulation at the best. Moving on to the back, we have this really cool picture here of the vehicle with stabilizers, all the features that you would remember from the old toy. Nice representation and homage to the original toy, but we're not done yet. We got to open this thing up. And what's really cool is this thing actually has a fold up front that shows a really cool inside grid diagram and everything else about the project. We have max speed of 1,077 miles per hour, power sources, neutronium, laser rifles and bombs, affiliation, Makina, Rock Mountain, and again the pilot Mads hocking. And you get to see this window here at the bottom that shows this wonderful toy. Just looks so cool just sitting there in the window box. Very nicely done, Ace. But, and oh, that's right, I forgot, this flap is magnetized as well. So again, just really cool, but let's just get past all that and let's get this vehicle out of the box. And here we have the Red Gullwing, and I have to say Ramen Toy really has knocked it out of the park with this. It's like being back in time and getting this for the very first time and looking at it. I mean, it's really beyond words. I mean, the vehicle itself is a perfect recreation of the Camaro from the cartoon. We have these nice tampographed prints here on the side and back. Really indicative of the vehicle. Really nice plastic here for the taillights. This nice silver paint here for the bottom part of the vehicle. And that just goes all the way around. I mean, it's just really nice. Zooming in, we actually have Goodyear on the rubber tires. Again, pushing the boundaries with what can be licensed and what can't. But very nice nonetheless. So yeah, I mean, like this thing is really nice. Out of the box, the side mirrors are separate, so they're just a simple plug-in here, but please be careful when you're manipulating the toy. They are tiny, and the little peg that goes into the side of the door is very small, so you can either lose it or break it. This front grille is really nicely decoed. The lights are amazing looking. So I mean, all in all, just a fantastic looking toy. Now, accessory wise, like it said in the package, we get this mini comic with Mads Hockings, and it just oozes 80s nostalgia in regards to him test flying the Red Gullwing for the first time, going through the different features that it has. Just really cool little nod, nicely done. We also get a old-fashioned instruction manual, Red Gullwing, Makina, sports card mode, as well as the jet aircraft mode, and then instructions on how to ensure you are putting the figure in properly and whatnot. We also come with a flight stand, which is 3 points of articulation for posing here. Ramen Toy tampographed in the center, and actually you can adjust the tension with these 3 screws. So again, a nice engineering for this vehicle and displaying it. Other accessories include 2 pair of undercarriage bombs. Now note that in the instructions, these silver ones are only to be used with the actual vintage toy. They will not fit in the undercarriage of the Gullwing. That is what these little capsule bombs are for. And again, they're nicely painted red and white. Very cool. Consider both the vintage toy and the current toy here. And you can insert the bombs in the undercarriage of the red Gullwing by holding down this tab, which opens the bomb bay doors, and they just sit right inside and are secured. And just take a minute, look at the detail in the bottom here of this vehicle. Really nicely done. So now that we've seen the vehicle in its conventional mode, let's just go to the main event and pop this vehicle and put it in action mode. And to do that, we're going to start with the wings. So there is this small little button up here that you just push. So that's something I noticed with this one here. Sometimes they stick a little bit, but there are the wings that pop up, and then you can see M.a.s.k Hockings inside there, and we'll look at the detail inside the vehicle in a second. But then you also just slide out these laser wings, and there is the top of the red Gullwing with the wings up and the laser cannons extended. Just looks really nice. Again, the inside, the door interior is sculpted as well. To extend the other action feature, this little button right here, you push it forward, and you hear this little snap, and that is releasing the jet engines here in the back. The nice tampo of the Makina symbol, and the spoiler pops up for a stabilizer, and that is action mode. Again, just I can't tell you how it feels to look at something that I held, oh Lord, many years ago, to say the least. But this sculpt is really nice. I mean, the detail into the thrusters here, it's just a really cool nod to an old toy line. Now inside here, and kind of zooming in here so you can see the dash, we have these two display pieces here that show a kind of hint at the next Makina team, as well as Max Devious and his vehicle. Just really nice little designs there. The sculpting inside here is really exceptional. On the other side, we have these little action buttons here, as well as a completely printed dashboard. And then obviously the driver, but as you can see here, he's actually in place here with a seat belt. It tabs into the back here. The seats are movable, which I will show in a second. And just to continue to show off this gorgeous interior sculpt, we have a gas and brake pedal here. And again, like I said, the seat belt is a stretchy bungee that has this little pin at the end, and that plugs into the back of the seat here. The seats are adjustable, which is very nice depending on who you have piloting the vehicle. We also have another one here that goes across for this seat as well. We have this little tampo up here underneath the wing. But what is a vehicle without its driver? So let's go ahead and look at that pilot of the red Gullwing. And here we have M.a.s.k Hockings out of the red Gullwing and looking absolutely amazing. This just oozes everything that I remember from getting this toy back in the 80s. The design and deco is a perfect match to Matt Tracker, but this has some really amazing updated articulation. Looking at this guy, again, he's very small, but the detail on this, the paint on the visor of the helmet is just really sharp. And just all over, this guy's deco is really fantastic. So pulling the helmet off, you see M.a.s.k Hockings' head. And again, just reminiscent of the old toys. There aren't a lot of details other than the hair color being painted. Most of the face, while it's a beautiful sculpt, is unpainted, but customizers can go through. And so like I said before, I had the vintage toy, and the articulation on that figure was very limited to shoulders and legs and the head. But Ramen Toy has updated the articulation on this guy. So going around, the head can do a 360. No up or down per se, but that's all right for the size of him. He can now strike a T-pose. And we have a single jointed elbow that also rotates. So that's really cool. We actually have waist rotation, which is excellent. Legs do not go out. So if you do that, there's a chance you're going to break the ball joint inside here. They are made to go up and down, right? And then we also have a single jointed knee No boot swivel or anything like that, but for this size of a figure and the level of articulation that you're going to need, I think this is just amazing compared to the old vintage toy. So, and again, the helmet goes right on very easily. Overall, it looks really, really, really good. And as I said before, this flight stand is great for getting the Gullwing in a flying pose. And you can easily manipulate it around to do different type of action scenes. So really cool. Set it any way you want. Again, this is just kind of crazy momentary posing here, but as you can see, it's just really, really neat. So final impressions of the Ramen toy Red Gullwing. It's really a phenomenal piece and a beautiful recreation of a vintage toy that we haven't seen or really heard from in a long time. The deco on the vehicle itself is really nice. The tampos on the vehicle here are really nice and sharp. The interior has a lot of really nice detail. Little features like the sliding seats and the seat belt. Mads Hocking as a figure is really sharp, well engineered to include some new articulation points that we didn't have with the vintage toy. I give props to Ramen Toy for doing this. I know they're doing a second run that they had to do some changes. This is a really good start for a homage to the m.a.s.k toy line. So that's everything for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I am so excited to start year 2 of the channel. Thank you guys very much again for watching, and we'll talk again soon. Bye.